Reseller Clickbait Podcast, episode 97.
Morning, Ken.
Morning. Ken, SSKPromo, Cory, Grams, and Pops, who is making it hard on the rest of us resellers with his shipping practices, making us all look bad.
Aren't resellers like, it's kind of like doctors and being the worst patients. Resellers are the worst customers, aren't they?
It seems that way. Right before we started to record, Teresa had come in and read Cory this message that they got from an eBay buyer that was telling him how he's been selling on eBay for like since the 1960s or something. I don't even when did the eBay even start? I'm not sure. In the 90s or something.
Honestly, I don't know the correct answer, but I'm guessing by how many resellers tell me they've been selling since 1998 that it was probably 1998 and they've looked it up. Because I get told that all the time. Like every third reseller, I've been selling since 98. Okay.
They were questioning Cory's packaging. They didn't want anything. They just wanted to let him know that he makes the rest of us look bad.
Well, if you're watching this, reseller, I do apologize and I will do better. You have my word.
Yeah. I should have recorded that when she came in and was reading that. That was good.
It was horrible. I got chewed out right before you hit record here. I just got an earful.
Well,
most of our feedback is about how our packing is really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, I get that quite. I overachieve. I probably spend more money in packing like material than.
Yeah, I'll bet I know what it is. I'll bet Teresa packed that one.
This is our throwing Teresa under the bus episode of the Reseller Clickbait Podcast.
It's the only logical explanation.
So yeah, so we're just coming off that big long marathon episode last week. Was the end of our kind of a three-part series that we did about kind of examining our processes, our buying process, our listing and our shipping process and inventory, things like that. And we've had a lot of good feedback, a lot of good comments about that. People that making their suggestions of, the way that they do it, which is super helpful all the time.
I actually got a phone call after that episode.
Oh, really? Were they telling you we're doing it wrong as well?
Well, that I was doing it wrong, but they were actually helpful. Like they told me a better way to do part of our packing setup, and it was actually helpful. It was a good phone call. So it did result in some good stuff.
So yeah, those were cool episodes, and I'm examining some of that stuff a little closer, even though I kind of thought that my shipping process was kind of the one thing that I didn't need to work on. After kind of reading some comments and kind of really thinking it through, I am making a couple of changes that I think are going to help out in that. But
I think that's where most of mine ended up being too, was in the shipping process. I think that's where most of the sore spots were that needed changing. And according to our recent message that we got read this morning before the show, there might be
those
something
changes
there.
Are needed. They're warranted for sure.
We need them right now.
We've been talking like you've been having one of those weeks, Cory, that just
just won't quit.
Good with the bad, I guess. And
yeah, it's all about balance. It has been. We've had one bad thing and one good thing happen just in succession over and over again. So it's been one of those weeks. Yep.
Like what's an example? Give me an example, Cory, of a good and a bad.
Dig in. Okay,
yes, well, right away.
We don't garage sale on Fridays. Most of the people that watch our channel kind of know our Thursday's our day. That's when we go.
Yeah.
Teresa decided after our Thursday garage sales were too few and far between, we were going to get up Friday morning and go garage selling for 2-3 hours before we came back to go to work.
Okay.
And she lined us up to go to this. It wasn't really, it was kind of an estate sale, but it was a hoarder house that they had.
Okay.
They had taken about 12 roll-off dumpster loads of junk out of the house already and just to the dump, and they were going to open it up to the public for a day.
Would you have gone through those dumpsters though? I mean, of what? Because there's a lot of time of stuff that people no, you wouldn't. Not in this place. A lot of times though, what people think are junk has some value. People buy anything.
Hearing that, I would have been like, oh man, I wish I could have saw this stuff before the dumpster. Honestly, though, after being in the house, I don't. If what they left is the stuff they were considering the good stuff, I can't imagine what the garbage
was. Okay, one of those types of sales. I had one of those a couple of years ago. I called it the stinky house, and every weekend they would open up like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and they were cleaning out this hoarder house, and just stuff was filthy. It was dirty. Everything stunk. That's why I called it the stinky house, because when you went in there, you almost felt like you wanted to wear, like a gas mask or something.
When we left there, it was like an emergency situation, looking for a gas station to go wash our hands. Like we didn't have any wipes or anything with us in the car, so we were straight to a gas station so we could find a place to wash our hands, because it was like you were stepping on the floor and it was that old shag carpet, but it was also full of water from things leaking and the ceiling not holding the rain out, and mold, and like it was really, really bad in there.
Did you find anything though?
We did. I mean, you had to. We were buying like 2 or 3 things at a time and running them to the car. Partly because there was nowhere to put anything without it sitting in a puddle of just mold and filth, and partly because you needed to catch a breath of air. Because to cover up the stink, they had taken Old Spice bottles and splashed them all over the house to try and cover up the mold smell. So it was
no.
And they had all the windows and doors open, but when we showed up there, we got there early. We got there like 6:30, and what was it? Maybe it was 7:30, and they opened at 8, something like that. Okay. But we got there first, and then Matt, Thrifter Sifter, showed up behind us. Okay. But we stayed in our car because it was like 28 degrees out, and the wind was just howling, so it was bitter cold. And Matt got out of his car. And so Matt got out of his car like a half hour early to go stand by the door. So we were like, well, crap, now we're second in line. So we got out of our car to go stand behind Matt, and then we all just froze. So we stood there for 30 minutes just shivering and freezing to get into this hoarder house. But all that being said, I mean, that was horrible. It was a horrible experience.
Yeah.
But when we got in there, we did find, I think we spent a little over $250.
Oh, so really?
We did buy quite a bit. And it was cool how they priced it. They said, everything's pretty much garbage. Bring it to me and it's $1. Whatever you find, everything's $1. So
you can't. That's a pretty good deal. Yeah, if you can find some stuff amongst the mold and mildew.
And he said, if you were bringing up bulk of something, if you had a lot of something or made a big pile, he'd make you a deal. So they were making really good deals too. But I mean, there was good with that bad too. Like Teresa immediately went in and took a left, and there was a big pile. Probably, the pile had to be 3 foot tall, and it was all Barbie type dolls.
Pile of I thought you said with the smell, bodies. Man, it was a 3 foot pile of.
Well, we haven't been through everything yet. There might be bodies in there. You don't know. But she ended up making a deal on that pretty quickly. Like she made a deal. She didn't count them. She's just, how much do you want for all the Barbie stuff?
Yeah.
So, and I think she did like $200 for the Barbie stuff, and it ended up being about $400. And I think
really
probably 40 or 50 of them ended up being Bratz and Monster High. So the Bratz and Monster High will more than pay for everything we bought that day.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The only problem is we've got to clean them, and we've got to sort them, and we've got to see what's good, because like you'll pick up one doll out of the pile and like half an arm will be chewed off by mice, and there's mouse droppings and nests. Like they made hair, like nests out of the hair, and
that's a lot of effort.
It's a lot.
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Even if it was a pile of Bratz and Monster High, if I would want to go through fumigating these things and cleaning them and the mouse.
I would have thrown a match on that entire house. Teresa, however, is up for the challenge. She likes to have those totes of Barbies sitting off to the side, to where when she's bored and she's wanting to just sit down and relax, that's her sitting down and relaxing, is combing out the hair, washing the dolls, matching up the clothes and the shoes and listing them. And she wanted to take it on. So, and I know there's probably $1,500-$1,600 worth of decent stuff there.
Yeah.
Like she'll do okay on the Barbies.
Yeah.
It's just going to take her forever to sort through them and clean them and stuff like that. So that was That was an interesting sale to go to. If anybody, if you want to see pictures of it, Thrifter Sifter Matt, it's Matt Grohl on Facebook. He has the pictures of that house on his Facebook page, and I'm certain he'll be doing a video of it.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I'd like to see that and what mess you had to wade through. But it sounded like it turned out, if Teresa can get these dolls cleaned up and you can make that sort of,
she's already started.
She'll profit.
I think probably in one file folder box that's just full of Bratz and Monster High and stuff like that. I think she's gonna clear out everything that we made and do it pretty quickly out of those. It looked like the lady just liked to hoard the dolls. Like a lot of them had Goodwill and Savers tags on them still. They were in the bags. Okay. Like the grab bags of dolls you see on the walls.
Yeah.
She would just bring them home and like throw them in a corner of a room. So they were just all over the house, still in the bags. So
that's kooky. Yeah.
But she was just I wouldn't say she was a hoarder, but
yeah, you're not collecting if they're just in a big pile. I guess you are collecting somewhat, but
there was some cool stuff in the house though. We found a really cool old Sears, like a vintage Sears chess set that was still in the box. It had never been taken out.
Yeah.
Just a lot of stuff. I can't even remember what all we got out of there, but I do know when we came home, the trunk of the car was full. The back seat of the car was full.
Yeah.
I think she found a 2.5, 3 foot tall Barbie, like a plastic doll. It was actually a Barbie doll.
Okay.
So that was sticking up in the back seat. What was that noise?
I don't know.
Did you hear a noise?
I didn't hear it. I did not.
Heard a noise. Okay. Maybe it's just me. Maybe they don't like us talking about Barbies.
It's that time of the show where we play What's That Noise? Which is better on a recording than What's That Smell? Because we were just talking about the hoarder house, but
that was a horrible.
I've been in places before where you are playing like, what's that smell? What could that possibly?
Oh, you didn't want to start guessing at this place. They had people we did have people. One of the t-shirt bros that was at the house trying to find clothing, he stumbled on like 3 big totes full of Breyer horses. They're all vintage Breyer horses, and he didn't know what they were. So he ended up, I saw him find them. He was like, "Are these worth anything?" And we talked about them. He's like, "Okay, I'll give it a try."
I would just leave them there. Those aren't.
No, I helped him dig them out. He did good finding those, but there was a lot of cool stuff that come out of there. But it was so bad in that house. Like you literally had to keep running to the yard to catch a breath of air to kind of go back in and take another round, and it was not a pleasant.
Is that the only week that they're having it? That's what, like I was saying about when I would go to the sale, I would call the stinky house. It's like every week I would go back because the pile would have been like turned over, people looking through stuff and so you would go back and find, I video games. The guy had tons of DVDs, racks and, all in racks. And I don't know, there was 3 or 4 racks. And so finally I just, I said, how much you want? How much are the DVDs? First of all, and I don't know, they were 50 cents a buck a piece. It was like, how much for everything? Just what do you want for all of them? And I ended up making a deal like $35 or something for, I think there were 400 DVDs and Blu-rays and movies, and then there were some video games in there as well. Nothing stellar. But I did pick up, like a Nintendo GameCube that was there, controllers.
That's the kind of stuff you would have had to look for that. So I think our strategy once we saw the inside of the house was look for anything that's not biodegradable, because everything else had already started turning back to earth. It was in piles of wet mush, and it had started breaking disgusting. Down. It wasn't great. And when we left, we felt filthy, and we had to run and find a place to wash our hands. Now, and that was the bad part of our morning, which we actually did pretty good there in terms of buys. But I would have left everything we bought there. I wouldn't have taken any of it. Yeah,
that would have been tough. But
Teresa will turn it into money.
There's a good reseller tip. I always keep in my glove compartment, the hand wipes, baby wipes, sanitizing wipes, or whatever. Always keep those in my thing, because there are even something that's not as extensive or as this hoarder house. Some sales that you go to,
but there had to be an experience that made you want to put those wipes in there.
Oh yeah. Well, actually they were in there from when I used to go, when I go fishing. I would have them in there and come back to the car after fishing. And, I could wipe my hands down and stuff before I got them my fishy hands all over the steering wheel. And then, going to sales, it's like, oh yeah, I have those in there and pull them out. So they're dual purpose.
See,
purpose.
We had an old bag of those blue hospital rags in the bottom of our tackle box. So you had some spit and some dry rag, and you were good for the fishy smell. But after this hoarder house, we will always have some kind of wipes in the car. Yeah. This is our experience that says you need these.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, sometimes you're not even picking up like dirty stuff like that. Like you're going through like a box of rusty tools or something like that, or at a yard sale, or digging through some boxes out in the garage, and you just need to freshen up your hands. So there you go. Free tip.
We needed a win after that one, because that was, like I said, I know Teresa she'll 10x her money out of that.
Yeah.
Because she's willing to do the cleanup work. I would have literally burned the place down. I wouldn't have done it. Like, she's way better at that than me.
So
it's not because of the dirty of it. It's just the dirty of the house and the nastiness of the house. I was willing to wade through it for this stuff. If there had been anything like super, super good there, and we did, but the cleanup of it after the fact is the stuff that I wouldn't do. So I wouldn't turn it into money like she will.
Yeah. Well, so if you want to check that out, go check out Matt Sifter Thrifter. Sifter Thrifter or Thrifter Sifter?
Thrifter Sifter.
Thrifter Sifter. Go check out his
Matt
Facebook.
Grohl on Facebook, I think.
His channel and stuff. So okay. So you said you were going for like 2-3 hours yard selling. Did you spend all your time at the hoarder house, or did you go to any other sales that day?
That's what I would call the bad part of our morning, was that one.
Okay.
I know that's the highlight of Teresa's day, I think, but that was the bad part of my morning.
Okay. Gotcha.
From there, once we got our hands washed, we actually, on the way out of town, we saw an estate sale sign.
Okay.
And it would have been first day for the estate sale. So we figured we'd hit it and then head home. And we did. And when we walked in, the whole house was full of, there's Swarovski, and then there's one other kind of crystal. It starts with a K. I don't remember what it is. But
I don't know.
In any case, it was all crystal. It was like crystal figurines. Does crystal
start with a K? No. Crystal starts with a C.
I wish I know some girls named
Crystal that start with a K. There you go. Crystal. That would have been cool if you would have went to this estate sale and it's just full of crystals.
Just a bunch of crystals.
Yeah.
No, it was a bunch of glass crystal.
Go ahead. Okay, gotcha.
And everything was insane. Like some of the little Swarovski crystals, like this tall, like an inch or two tall, they had marked at like $115 a piece. We were walking through the house, like the whole house was full of it. Every shelf, every table, every counter. And we figured there's no way we're buying anything here. And it was really, like, $2 million house probably. It was an expensive house.
Okay.
So we walked around, me with my hands in my pockets so I wouldn't break anything.
Yeah.
And I think we did a couple of rounds around the house before we got ready to go. And on the way out, we walked past the kitchen counter, and they had one kitchen counter in the house that was just full of like toiletries and stuff.
Okay.
So I looked and I saw one of them said Bath and Body on it.
Okay.
So it piqued my interest, and we started digging through. We ended up buying most of that countertop full of Bath and Body stuff, because when we looked it up, most of it was discontinued. And most of it had 100% or better sell-through rates on eBay. So I think we grabbed probably $1,500 worth of Bath and Body Works out of there for less than $100.
You didn't pay $1,500. Okay, for less than $100.
No, we paid less than $100 for it. So we went through the smelly bad in the beginning of the day, and we ended our day with the smelly good.
Well, can't beat that. Yeah, those anytime you can find those scents or smells or odors or whatever they call them of that Bath and Body Works, because I know like Jill will complain all the time, or my sister complains all the time. You get used to one scent, when you bought several tubes of it, and then they discontinue it, and people want to keep smelling like whatever
it is.
Vanilla Bean Noel or something.
Yeah. I don't know what these ones were called, but they were all pretty much the same scent.
Yeah.
But it was body wash. It was the spritz spray stuff. It was lotions, and they were all kind of that same discontinued scent.
And they were all new?
Multi-quantity.
They were
all new.
New stuff. Oh, that's a cool pickup then.
So it's like everything we picked up had like 3 or 4 or 5 of the same thing. So it was every one of them was multi-quantity. And they're all selling for 40 to
easy
60
listing,
bucks a bottle.
Easy listing when you get the multi-quantity. Heck yeah. So yeah, that ended up like a good trip. Good choice for Teresa to say, hey, let's go out on Friday morning because
see? Sounds.
Oh, you know what? That might have been my Echo device up there, but I didn't hear it the first time. I don't know what I said. I didn't even say Alexa. Now it's probably going to go off thinking I'm talking about. Anyway, so what else? Okay, so what else? That was your Friday. I know you had some sort of an experience with a flat tire or something.
Ugh.
We were talking about.
We did. What? We brought the car into town. It was Saturday, yesterday.
Yeah.
So we had to work at the escape rooms on Saturday. So
yeah. You know what? I was going to bring up. Hold on. I want to back up. I'm going to back up to when you were talking about the Bath and Body Works and the soap and the toiletries and all of that stuff. Buyers don't seem to always pay attention. I don't know how people search on stuff. If they're actually searching. Okay, here's what I bought this a whole bunch of.
According to my latest research, they really pay attention to packing.
Yeah. They don't search the items well, but man, they'll let you know about your packing right away. Okay, I bought all of this Irish Spring soap. I don't know if I've talked about this
bar soap
on here. Like bar soap, yeah.
Yep.
It came from a buy because Jill had sent me a photograph of. Have I talked about this already? Jill had sent me a photograph from the store. She was at a store and it was on clearance. Okay, and the sign said it was on clearance, and you know how like they put the price that it was, and then they'll put the price that it is now. Well, It said that it was $1.24 or something. And it's now on clearance for $1.98. And so they were like,
let's try that kind of sale.
Heck yeah, it can up your price on the clearance. So I was like, oh wait, let me just look at that because you're gonna get them like $1.25 a piece for. They were like a three pack of Irish Spring, and some of those Irish Spring scents. Then as I started to look at it, I was like, oh, these kind of have a little bit of value to it.
Yep.
I think they've discontinued like the original scent or something.
They did. We picked up like 9 bars of that at the Plains to Profit event at one of the thrift stores.
Okay, and maybe we did talk about this back then. But I guess here's what confuses me. So I have these listed as like a single. I'm going to say a single. A single is a 3-pack. Okay, so if I say a single, it's a 3-pack. So I did some multiple quantity listings because I had so many of these sets. So Jill, she had sent me that, and then she went back the next day and she bought everything that they had. And so I listed them as either like a single 3-pack, or you could get 2 3-packs, or you could get 3 3-packs.
Okay, I have to ask.
Yes.
When she went back to buy them all, did she take the discount or tell them she wants to pay the original price? Because the original price was still cheaper.
Was still cheaper than that. Yeah, I think she ended up getting them for the whatever the smaller, whoever did the sign. So if we got about $1.25 or whatever. And so I'm listing a 3-pack at $10, $9.99. I list a 2-packs together are $15.99, and then 3-packs were like $21.99 or something. That was kind of just based on stuff that I had seen.
Tiered discount based on quantity.
Based on the quantity, and they were 3 separate listings. Well, what I've been selling, right out of the gate, like right after I listed them, I sold one of the three quantities, so 9 bars altogether. No, 9. They would have got 9
bars.
3 singles, 3 3-packs. I sold one of those, but then I started selling from then on. All I've been selling is the singles, the single 3-pack at $10 a piece. It's like what I don't understand is if the buyers are just not like, there must not be going to the store and seeing to my store and seeing if there's like if I'm offering these in any other way, or if they're just searching Irish Spring and that's the one that comes up and my price is the best. And
I don't think eBay makes it real easy for them to see that you have the other listing.
Yeah.
Well, there is a way you could list it as a single listing, but then you could do a tiered discount on that listing where you offer discounts by quantity.
Yes. Well,
they would probably see it.
I guess I could, and I haven't done that a lot, so I don't understand. And my fear was that somebody would come in and like I would end up selling more of the quantity than what I had.
Oh, like it won't let you do that.
It won't. Okay. See, I haven't done a lot of those types of listings, but so I have since, because people keep buying them, and what they'll do is how many times that I've sold 2 of the single packs at $9.99 a piece, rather than somebody going in and getting 2 packs at $15.99.
Right.
It's like they're just not searching any further than seeing that single listing. Now, I'm not complaining because I'm making full money on
all everything. The other ones.
I did. I ended up, because I started selling those singles in multiple quantities, I wasn't going to have enough to fulfill like the 3 quantity things. And then I thought, well, I'll just leave the single and the double. And then the other day, after I sold like back to back 2 singles to 2 different people, it's like I'm taking down. I'm only listing all singles. That's all I'm having.
Yeah, it's proven seller. Keep selling it.
Yeah, the profit has been very, $10 a piece. Like I say, got $1.25 in it. After all the fees and all of that stuff, I'm making money and.
But when they sell like that, it's worth it. I don't mind having a $10 item if they're selling like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I try to list stuff that are higher than that, but when you can get a buy like that, a multi-quantity buy, the listing is easy and get them up. So I don't know. That was just my topic this week of that. I don't understand, because I must shop differently than other people, because if I was going on eBay, if I was going on Amazon, okay, and I'm looking for Irish Spring soap, and I click on there, and I'm going to sort that by the cheapest price, and I'm just kind of going to look at it. I suppose if I only wanted one, that wouldn't come up. But if I was on eBay, I always like to see what the seller. I'm clicking on the seller's other items.
I never do. That's a good point though, because when you're on eBay and you search for an item and you sort price first, like lowest price first, that single bar or the single 3-pack or whatever is $10, and the 2 singles are $15. You said something like that.
Yeah.
That $15 one's going to be so far down the road, you're probably never going to see it to know that it's a better deal because there are 2.
Yeah,
it's just you're sorting by price, so it does kind of eliminate some good deals doing it that way, I guess. When you're looking
they were to look at my store, there's the link on there that's always view the seller's other items or whatever. But again, I'm not going to complain because I'm making full money on everything and I'm selling multiples, and by the weight of them, especially when they're buying 2 single packs, it doesn't increase the weight that much that I'm not that the shipping goes up. Usually the shipping goes up for the buyer, but not for me. Right. It's still relatively cheap for me. Same. And as long as it's not out of hand, if the buyer pays an exorbitant amount over, I'll refund a little bit of that shipping to them, just because I would want somebody to do that for me. But for the most part, it's kind of worked out even enough to where, well, the buyer understood that's how much they were paying in shipping. And so
a lot of times when we get less than a 5-star review on a lot of them, well, we don't get a lot of them, but when we do get some that are less than 5 stars, a lot of times it's complaints about the shipping cost. So we try to refund and make it as fair as we can, because they're not just rating you a 5-star across the board. They rate on the shipping and the experience. And so, but that shipping cost, what do? I mean, you can only keep it so low.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it's going to build up. But anyway, so I'm sorry, I went off on that tangent because when you had said soap, it reminded me about that. So you had a flat tire, because this is going to lead into something.
We did. So we went to work at the escape room Saturday, and when we go Saturday, our youngest usually comes home Friday night from her house and stays at our house for the weekend because she works with us on the weekend. So Saturday she rides to the escape room with us, so we only have to take one vehicle.
Yeah.
So we're at the drive-thru at Dairy Queen. I think you were on the phone with me while we were at the drive-thru at Dairy Queen. We get our order, and as we're pulling out,
how were the chicken strips, by the way?
They were chickens. They were okay. It was Dairy Queen, so they weren't terrible, but they were edible. But But yeah, we pulled out of the driveway, and Teresa said, "I hear a sound, but I don't know what it is." And none of us knew what was going on. She had the steering wheel. It wasn't quite that pronounced, but it was enough to where when you roll the window down, you hear it. Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Okay.
So we just drove to the escape room, which is like 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
And she parked the car and we got out, and I looked where I thought the sound was coming from, and sure enough, the tire was flat, like less than 10 pounds of air. Flat.
Like did you have a nail or something in it, screw in it, or?
It ended up being a nail in the tire, which I didn't know at the time, because we go pop the trunk. I'm going to put a spare on it and run the tire up to get it fixed. Yeah. The new Hondas don't give you a spare. There is no spare. A lot of the new cars don't give you a spare tire anymore.
Really?
Yep. Go look at a lot of the new cars. They don't give you a spare. They give you a can of Fix-It flat, basically. It's just you're on your own.
I guess I didn't know. I haven't had a new car for so long. I didn't realize that was a thing.
Anything in the last 5 years, it's very like the cars, the compacts and stuff. They don't give you not even a donut, nothing.
Really?
So no spare.
I would never know that anyway, because I'm always going to buy a bigger, a truck or something. I don't think I'll ever be without a pickup truck.
I love my pickup, but when it comes to garage selling, with the amount of driving we put on, having that hybrid,
I love my truck.
Is so nice. Like we spend, we drive 200-300 miles. We spend $20 in gas. It's so nice to have a hybrid when you're garage selling.
Exactly.
So, but I go look in the trunk and there's no spare. So I'm already a little bit perturbed at Honda for not putting a spare tire in there. They did put this little rinky-dink, like plug into your cigarette lighter. It's like this big little compressor. Okay. And it has one setting for air, and then you turn it and it pumps Fix-A-Flat into the tire. So like literally just it pumps a can of Fix-A-Flat into it. So I was like, well, this is never going to work.
About auto repair today on a new vehicle. Go ahead. Yes. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So I wasn't going to put the Fix-A-Flat in it because I wanted to take the tire up to have them fix the tire. And I didn't want them to have to deal with I don't even know what to call it, the juice in the tire. I didn't want to put a bunch of crap in the tire.
Yeah. Yes.
So I tried the air compressor setting on it.
Okay.
I did get like 20 pounds of air in the tire. So just enough to get it up off the rim.
Yeah.
And I ran the car up to the only place open in our small town, which is a little Cenex. And they do have a tire repair shop there. So I thought we were in good shape. I go in and I talk to the guy and say, do you have time to fix a tire? And he's like, oh yeah, we got time. We'll get you in right now. So I thought, well, great, because I don't have a ride. So I'm going to have to wait for it. So I go pull the car in front of their door where they do their tire repair. And he opens the door and he says, no, we don't have time for a car with a flat tire. We have time to fix a tire. So if you bring me just a tire, we'll fix it. But if you just have it on the car, I can't do it.
So now you got to jack up the car
but I have no jack because the car doesn't come with a spare tire. So it also doesn't come with a jack.
Okay. Really?
So I'm out there with, there's no wheel wrench. There's no jack. There's nothing. There's that little air compressor.
Okay.
So I had to go in and ask him if I could borrow one of their jacks and a wheel wrench. And remember, it's like 25, 30 degrees, not even 30. And it's just blowing wind. I'm freezing. I didn't wear a heavy enough coat, no gloves. And I borrow the tools and I get the tire off. And then I had to go borrow a jack stand from him so I could leave the car up on jack stands while they fix the tire. So I brought it in. They fixed the tire. It was a screw in the tire. Well, a nail in the tire. They patched it up really quick. Got it back to me. I got it all back together. They charged me like $20. So I was super grateful. Even though it was a pain in the butt and I was frozen solid, I was super grateful.
Yeah.
And so that was the bad part of the morning. Now the good part, as I'm leaving the station, I'm pulling out of there. There's a garage sale like a block away from this Cenex.
Okay. Now we're talking.
So I think, well, Teresa's going to be mad first because she's not with me.
Yes.
But I pulled in anyway, and I ended up buying at this garage sale everything. Nothing was marked, no prices. So I grabbed one thing first, and I was like, how much is this? They're like $1. And it was a radar detector, like one of the fuzz busters for your car.
Yeah.
And those always sell well. So I grabbed that for $1. And once she said $1, I was like, okay, I'm just making a pile.
Yeah.
Like we tested the price, but I got 2 car radios, like CD player car radios.
Okay.
In the box. They were still in their boxes. They had never been used. I got that radar detector. We got 3 handheld GPSs, like the golf GPS handheld things.
Yeah.
We got 3 of those. We got a good shipping scale, like an industrial shipping scale, one they use at a shipping station at a big business.
Okay.
With the LCD display you hang on the wall and everything.
Yeah, this day's looking up already.
We got a bunch more stuff. I don't even remember what, but I ended up spending like $25.
Okay.
And I know we'll make several hundred out of what we brought home out of there.
I
brought home.
Yeah, those radar detectors uses, and you said a golf GPS. You're not talking like driving around with maps. You're talking like the golf course.
No, it's for, there's one that's specifically for a golf course. You put in the holes or whatever, and it's a handheld GPS to show, you walk
distance
to your ball. It tells you how far you hit. And
yeah,
the other ones are Garmin. There's 2 Garmin GPS handheld GPSs that have maps and everything.
Okay.
Not the kind you put in your car. They're the kind you would like take hunting with you and put waypoints on, and so you could tell where you're at.
Okay, so they're not just standard road map sort of GPSs. No. Oh yeah, I bet those will sell pretty good because they're so specific.
They're for like hiking and stuff like that and hunting and.
Sweet. So yeah, heck yeah. Got a flat tire and out in the cold, but now was Teresa upset with you when you got back and let her know that you got to go?
I didn't tell her.
Have you told her yet?
Yeah, she knows now. She found out when I got back from the Cenex. Well, here, this is just story time day, isn't it? I hope my stories aren't too boring here, because when I got done with the garage sale, I'm pretty mellow guy usually. I let things roll off my back pretty easy. But after the spare tire thing and not be able to get the car in and having to bring just the tire in, I was a little bit perturbed.
A little salty at that point.
Okay. After I was done with the garage sale, I was in pretty good spirits again. Like life just kind of balanced you right back out.
Exactly.
So I take the car with my new goodies and I roll back into the escape room where Teresa and Hannah are sitting there. And I figured they were just there being bored because nobody was going to be there. And it's just kind of boring on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
So I roll in thinking I'm going to go tell Teresa about these cool things I found, and our day is looking back up. And when I walk in, she just has that scowl where you just don't say anything.
I've seen that look.
Yeah, it's just that I'm going to bite you look. So rather than share my experience of my finds and my garage sale, I ask her what's going on. While I was gone getting this tire fixed, they had a power surge at our building the previous night. We had a power surge in town. Okay. But while I was getting the tire fixed, she was getting the escape rooms ready for the day and found out that all of our computers had shut down and one of them had fried the power supply with that power surge. And it was the room it was one of the rooms she was going to need for the day, I believe. Yeah. Either way, we had a computer down.
Yeah.
There's nowhere in town. I mean, there's like 7,000 people in this town, and there's no computer place here where you can go get a computer fixed or buy parts.
Yeah.
So we just had a computer down that I ended up having to deal with later that night. So yeah, she was having a very not great time while I was out having a great time. So I kept the garage sale to myself.
Yeah. Good call. I guess good call on that. Takes your excitement and just.
We did have an extra system laying around, an extra computer and monitors laying around that I could swap that one out with.
Yeah.
But then we had to get all the software set up, and it takes 3-4 days to get your licensing information via email so you can relicense the applications we use.
Okay.
And get all that set up. So got
that room
all
was
that
just going to be down.
Yeah, it's still down.
Okay.
And it is one of our popular rooms, so it sucks, but it is still down, but we'll have it back up probably Tuesday.
Yeah.
But we got it back up as far as it can be. Like there is a computer, all that's set up. So she was in a better headspace about 8:00 that night.
Yeah. And then you were able to show her your finds.
Then I showed her the finds. I brought them in out of the truck and set them on the table, kind of sneaky like.
Okay.
And during a conversation, I just kind of slipped in that, oh yeah, I got those over there.
Like, hey, honey, do you remember when you were having a bad day and I had to go get the tire fixed.
I was out having fun.
Look at this. You went to a garage sale? I can just see it. But all is well.
She is getting even with what it ended up like. The good side of that is we did get the tire fixed. Everything was good.
Yeah.
And we got to go to a garage sale. We had more than paid for the tire, like several times over.
Oh,
so that ended up being okay.
Oh yeah. See, bonus.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I didn't think about that. The profit from the just garage sale that you happen by will pay for the repair of the tire.
Yep. Yeah. We could have bought a whole new tire and still had money left.
I'm going to watch this segue. You know, you had to have a wheel taken off of your car, right?
We did.
I've got a wheel right here.
I could have used one.
I got a wheel right here.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. I'll pop that out.
Those are our hardcore viewer wheel.
I'm going to change views or change topics here. Because last week on the show, I don't know, it was like an hour and 45-minute show. So we're still under, an hour away from the end of that. But we had thrown out there in the thing, if somebody put in the comments something that, hashtag I made it, or hashtag, I'm at the end, or in Chris Cajun Resellers, thought he put hashtag I didn't make it. So, how would you, but we were going to do some prizes. So I have a prize wheel here, Corey. It's not flat. I didn't have to have this one repaired. But in the comments last week, we had 3 people that did at least make it to the end and decide to throw out a comment. Was Amy Beach by Repeat, Mike Metco, and Chris Cajun Reseller. And so we're going to give away a prize. Okay, what I have on here, I have each of the names on the wheel twice. And because here's what I figure. They made it to the end. They made it to the end of the video.
They deserve a prize.
On this spinning the wheel, you have to make it to the end. So this is a process of elimination right here. Whoever is the last, who is ever last on the wheel is going to win this valuable prize package. Something else that makes it to, they're going to win the prize package. Something else that makes it to the end, Corey.
So,
Dude wipes.
There you go. Official, the very end. The bitter end.
Unofficial. Yeah.
The minty end.
To the minty chill end. Unofficial show sponsor, Dude Wipes, right here. Brand new, fresh package, minty chill, and a sticker pack. We're going to throw out there some SS. We got the grams of pops, SSK. We got Ken versus 10. And of course, the Reseller Clickbait Podcast sticker right there. So I'm going to start this. We're going to spin this wheel here. Process of elimination. Who's out first? Chris Cajun is
here. Well,
off the board.
Chris.
Well, it says we have a winner, but actually he didn't win anything. Oh, here we go again.
So much like our episodes, we are going to make drawing a name long and drawn out.
Oh, of course. And that's going to end. Okay, Mike's off the board for one. Ooh, Amy has 2 chances to the other guy's 1. Now, this is random, so. Uh-oh.
Oh, no, Chris, you're out of here, buddy.
Chris is off the board, and it's looking good for Amy Beach by Repeat. Here we go. Let's see if Mike can survive to the end.
Hang in there, Mike.
Hang in there, Mike. Uh-oh. Nope.
Man. You know what this is, though? This is the world knows. The world knows who needs those wipes. Amy, judging by some of the stuff that she has been buying lately, could really use a bag of those wipes.
Okay, go check out Amy Beach by Repeat.
Stuff lately.
Okay, yeah, go check out Amy Beach by Repeat and Chris Cajun Resell. I don't know. I don't think Mike has a channel, does he?
No, I know that he's just Mike's on everyone else's channels. Like Mike's everywhere. So if Mike ever starts a channel, he'll have 1,000 subs before he's done.
Just for posterity, here we're gonna spin this one more time.
The yellow Amy is gone.
That the yellow Amy, blue Amy won the.
It looks very Eastery right there.
It does with the logo. So Amy's taken down some Dude Wipes and a sticker pack, and I'll get with Amy.
Amy never thought she'd win Dude Wipes.
She probably did not, but man, I don't think they're I don't think that they're gender specific.
No, the dude doesn't specify at all, does it?
No, it does not. But the minty chill. So I'll get
That's
with
what
Amy.
We do here. We make dreams come true.
I'll get with Amy, but I appreciate all of the comments from this week. A lot of good, helpful hints about the shipping process. But another thing. Okay, I'm excited this week, Cory, because I am heading to Nashville this weekend. And some of the folks in the chat over the last couple weeks, like Jack's Treasures this last week. Looking forward to meeting you in Nashville next weekend, Ken. And
there'll be a lot of people up there this week.
And yeah, so Jill and I are heading to Nashville, big reseller meetup going on, and I'm excited. We're heading there on Thursday, and going to be there. I'm not sure if we're leaving Sunday. It's about just shy of a 7-hour drive from.
Oh, so you'll be able to buzz over there one afternoon.
Yeah, we'll just spend, maybe have some lunch, come back. Now I'm not sure what day we're coming. We're either coming back Sunday late in the day after kind of lunch and stuff is over, or I think we have the motel room or hotel room reserved through Monday. So we might leave Monday, depending. I'm not really sure. I'm just excited to get there on Thursday, meet up with a bunch of other cool resellers, and sign some headshots. I've got my official. So I also do the show, Ken versus 10 on my channel over there. SSKPromo.
You're doing good there this week. I keep seeing you. Looks like you're beating the death pile this week.
Well, I'm not yet. I'm still it's still 4-6. Ken 4, death pile 6.
That's like 4 more than I usually see pop up.
Oh yeah, it's been dismal here lately, but those 4 sold pretty quickly, like within the first couple of days.
Yeah.
So the other items that I have are some Loungefly bags and stuff, and they're a little bit more pricey than the other stuff, and so
more long tail.
But I've had some interest. I haven't sent out any offers yet. I might do that later, but I wanted to give them at least a good solid week to be up and for people to take a peek and give a chance.
So when you go to Nashville, it's going to be. It sounds like it's going to be. You get to meet a whole bunch of cool resellers. Like it sounds like there's going to be a lot of people there.
Yes.
So you get to meet a bunch of resellers, and then you're going to eat, drink, and go to church.
Yes. Pretty much.
Is that kind of the order of events? I'm
going to ride a mechanical bull. I'm all about one of the things that we're doing that evening is
Is that at the Crazy Rabbit or whatever they call that bar? What is that bar they're going to? It had a funny name.
I forget. Is it something Beaver?
Purple Beaver or something? I don't know. I just remember it had a weird name.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a mechanical bull. I've never ridden a mechanical bull, but hey, I'm willing to give it a try. I'm also going to do, on my show Ken versus 10, I review macaroni and cheese to see if anything is better than Kraft macaroni and cheese. So I might take a mac and cheese tour of Nashville, see if I can find, some mac and cheese that might be better than Kraft. Yeah, lots of good food places. There's some on the schedule. There's some really good food places that are that we're going to as part of the event. And so looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to meeting people, doing headshots. So I was saying this Wednesday when I do my Ken versus 10 show, which is on at noon Eastern time, 12 Eastern time on Wednesday, I'm going to throw up, I had made the headshot for it, or not the headshot, but the thumbnail. We're doing the Nashville headshot reveal.
That would be a good one
this week on the show. So if you want a sneak peek at the headshot that I'm going to be signing there, check that out. Wednesday, 12 noon, SSK promo channel. Boom, there it is. One more time. You can kind of see a little bit behind that star, but it's fun. It's just a goofy. It's just
that'll be the first headshot since you started doing headshots that I won't have.
This is true because you have the OG and you have a, and you have the.
I was at both those events.
Trying to make them specific to, if you were at the reseller rally, you could get that one that I just showed. If I meet you and show you in Nashville or see you in Nashville, you'll get. So I know that there's probably a few people that I will see there that will now have all three of them. I do have another one that I'm going to be making for Nashville. Well, I've already made it. Actually, everything is at the printers now. They should be ready by Tuesday or Wednesday.
Have you used the same printer for all three of these? Like the same place is doing them?
Yeah.
What must they think?
Oh, I was in the printing industry for many, many years. And some of the...
So they know you?
Yeah, some of the people... Well, this particular business, because I'm not going back to the original place where I worked, but some of those employees that I worked with now work for this place that's in my town. And so, yeah, I go in there and they already knew that I was a little bit, off and goofy anyway.
A little off.
And so when I take these things in there and I show them to them, they're just,
they shake their heads and do the work.
Just shake their heads and they have fun with it. So, and yeah, it's just to be goofy. And it's the headshot thing is, I do have delusions of grandeur that I think everybody is just coming to see me anyway. And why wouldn't they want a headshot? But it's just a good way to meet people, to make it like a more of a comfortable situation than just walking up and going, oh, hey, who are you? And, shaking a hand. And so it's kind of an icebreaker thing. It's fun. It's fun for me. And so there again, just much like being the seasonal Santa.
We always told our kids never talk to the carnies.
See, that was my lifelong dream, to be a carny. Not like a pixie dust spreader on the tilt-a-whirl or anything. I'm talking like, a carnival barker out there, hawking products, getting people to come in maybe to see one of the side shows.
We've met a few of those carnies that were pretty nice people, but I've never met a nice person that ran that Voltron. Do you remember that ride? The one where you get in, it looks like a spaceship and the seats slide up.
Yeah.
You puke and everybody gets a taste. I never met a nice carny that ran one of those. They were all sadistic.
Yeah, the one that was like that was called the Gravitron, the one that used to come to our town every year. And yeah, they always were playing
that's the name.
Loud
Voltron
music and
that's a robot.
Voltron. Yes.
I've sold Voltron.
Yeah, I loved Voltron. That was one of my favorite cartoons.
The Gravitron that's the one with all the lions that make up the robot. Yeah.
No, that's a Voltron that makes the Gravitron is the ride. No, you said the Gravitron is the one that makes up the. Yes, you did.
Well, Voltron had to deal with gravity, so he could have been a Gravitron.
Could have been.
Oh. Either way, bad carnies ran that ride.
So I'm looking forward to that. So today, one of the things I'm getting a haircut today because all this new growth, Cory. Look, it's almost out of hand. I'm almost ready for a comb over up there. With I'm not sure. I was too bright it was too bright from these lights when I took my.
It got pretty bright over here when you took your hat off too.
I know. So I got to get a haircut today and get ready. Start getting some things. I'll make up a bunch of sticker packs and stuff to hand out to folks, and
that'll be a good time. I don't think you could go to a bad event. I just don't think one exists. If people show up to the event,
yeah,
it'll be a fun time. I mean, it's that simple. Yeah. Those are. The networking and talking to the people are what those are all about. That whatever else happens at the event that's entertainment wise or part of the event is just a bonus.
Yes. And I've never been to Nashville too. So Nashville, is a good touristy, spot to go. Jill has been there several times and we've got some friends in the area as well that we're going to hook up with them. So
the donut guy's from there too. So that's a bonus.
The donut guy. Wait.
Yeah, like
donuts,
Jelly Donut or Jelly Roll or whatever his name is.
Oh, Jelly Roll.
He's from around there.
Maybe I'll see Jelly Roll while I'm there. Jelly Donut.
You never know. It's got to be a good place to get donuts if a guy named Jelly Roll comes from there.
Oh, that was one of the things. I guess on Sunday, we're going to church there and going to lunch. But I guess there's a really killer donut shop right there in I
told you.
The same block, and so I'm gonna have some Nashville donuts. I'm looking forward to.
They should have just led with that. Why is that not on the banner?
On that I was going to Nashville?
No, the donuts. Why are they not on the Nashville banner? Like, they should have just led with that. They would have had more. Do they not understand their demographic? Resellers are all 40 and 50-year-old middle-aged fat guys that like donuts. Put the donuts on the banner.
And then boom, you're doubling your attendance if donuts. Nashville's newest tradition, the reseller donut crawl. We can have a donut crawl. Is anybody doing a donut crawl? Well, they have these bar crawls and all of that stuff. There's an idea. We don't have enough bakeries in my town. We've got
not like in my town, but
Tim Hortons and Dunkin' Donuts and stuff that are like the national chains. But
we got Flyboy around here and Dunkin'.
We've only got
Krispy Kreme in Omaha.
We don't have a Krispy Kreme around here. Andrew's.
A lot of the Hy-Vees and stuff, the grocery stores have their own bakeries, and a lot of them do their own donuts.
Yeah.
So never discount a grocery store bakery, because sometimes they'll surprise you.
Walmart around here, Kroger stores, Walmart's, Myers. I'm not sure if they're fresh baking, but the kind of the go-to place here in town is called Andrew's Pastries, that makes fresh donuts and stuff every day. And it's like one of those things. They make all these donuts, and then when they're done, it's like the store's closed. But they also do catering, and they do cakes and wedding cakes, all kinds of pastries.
We got Gary's here, and that's their big thing is their donuts, and they do kind of the same thing. It's just a small town donut shop. They make all their own donuts, but I think their special ingredients is they just have not changed the grease since like the 40s. So they have a very specific taste, and it never really changes.
That's man. See, now I'm hungry for donuts, but it's almost breakfast time.
My stomach started growling. I don't know if you could hear it or not.
I could not. I thought that was my Alexa going off again.
Well, I won't get in town before the donut shop closes today, but maybe I'll have a bowl of Cheerios on the way out of the house.
I had Cheerios yesterday for honey nut Cheerios. I like the honey nut Cheerios, even though they're honey nut Cheerios. Just like my Frosted Flakes, I still sit there with the sugar, the sugar shaker. And
I couldn't do sugar on honey nut Cheerios. I can do sugar on the Cheerios. That's why I get Cheerios, because they're just a base to hold sugar. Like same with like Corn Chex and Frosted Flakes and the Rice Krispies. Like they're all just a base to hold sugar. So I like those.
Yeah, Frosted Flakes are good. Oh, you said Chex there. That's one thing. Okay, Chex Mix. I'm gonna go Chex Mix. You like Chex Mix?
I do.
You know what I like? You know what I like in my Chex Mix?
What?
I like Chex. That's it. Whatever. The rice ones, the wheat ones. People they go, oh, we make this stuff, and they want to put like Cheez-Its. They want to put Cheez-Its in there. They put little pretzel things. They put nuts. They put
the pretzel things and chips, those are all good things to have.
Chip things. No, but I just like Chex. Now I'm not going to complain if somebody shows up with, hey Ken, here's some homemade Chex Mix and it has pretzels and Cheez-Its and stuff in it. I'm going to love it. I'm going to eat the whole entire bag. But if I were I've never made Chex Mix once in my life.
I think Dave has a video for Chex Mix on his cooking channel.
Does.
We might have to check that out. I don't know how to make anything short of like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but I know what things taste good. Like that's my expertise.
Yeah. Okay. So you're not cooking it, but you can let someone know if they did it right. That's the same with shipping, right, Cory? All of these resellers that want to, they all want to tell you how to do it. Yeah, this is what I know how to cook right here. Macaroni and Kraft macaroni.
And you cook it well.
We brought this all the way around to we started out with
full circle
with Cory's shipping practices. And I think we'll end up now, that resellers seem to know best. The best how food is supposed to be prepared, where you're lacking in your shipping. If you put that sort of effort into your shipping, Cory, you might make something of yourself in this reselling.
I'm going to try and do better. I heard what he was laying down. I'm going to try and do better.
Yeah.
I can receive criticism.
It didn't sound to me like that you had underpacked this. It sounds to me that this person was just they just needed to tell you that they've been selling since 1998 and they know how to pack.
I respect my more experienced veterans out there. Everybody who's been selling since 1998 when eBay turned the lights on.
back when you had
I'm so sick of hearing that.
They used to send a check and a money order. I actually had sold years ago. I wouldn't say I was a reseller, but way back in the day, I had sold some stuff. I could really say that I've been a reseller since whenever, 1998 or probably more, mid 2000s. But it was just, a couple things here or there that I sold. I wasn't really reselling. I was just, hey, let's try this out. And it was back in that time when you had to wait for a check or a money order or something like that. They didn't have buy it now. It was all auction. And
I remember a few things back then. I never sold anything.
I remember being perturbed when eBay started buy it now. That's because I was only a buyer back then. Because it used to be if, nobody was sniping you right at the end, you could buy, something, you could get things for really cheap. And then now it got to be, buy it now. It's automatically going to be $20 or whatever it is, where I'm not going to be able to, pick it up if nobody's paying attention. Or, those people that couldn't spell, right? And they would misspell the word so it wouldn't show up in searches or whatever, and you would do that whole thing. Well, yeah, it is.
When we pull comps to put up on our screen for our what sold videos, if you don't know how to spell something exactly, like it's a weird brand or a foreign brand, if you don't know how to spell it exactly when you're searching for it, you better know some other word that was in the title, because you're not going to find it even on your own eBay store if you don't know how to spell it. Like eBay search is horrible.
It does, man. We should talk about that at some point. We should make that a topic about the eBay search and how people search and how people find stuff.
eBay needs to go down a rabbit hole and start looking. They need to Google the word search intent. That's something Google got very good at. Search intent.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I don't have to tell you what I want. You just have to know what I'm trying to get.
Giving you the general idea. Yes.
It's like an old married couple. What they're saying isn't necessarily what they want, but you got to know what they want to make them happy.
And I think what people want right now, Cory, is for us to be done with this show.
Wrap it up.
And like I say, I gotta go eat some breakfast. I gotta get my hair cut. Well, Cory, hopefully, you had bad that all turned out good this week. So hopefully you don't get opposite this week where you start out with the good and end up with the bad. But
it's just a week of extremes, but it did balance out, so we're good.
Cool. And congratulations to Amy, Beach by Repeat, and on her prize package. I'll get out to her. And thank you to everyone that left comments, and Chris Cajun and Mike Metco. Looking forward to my trip this week. Anybody that's still here watching this that might be heading to Nashville, be safe in your travels, and look forward to seeing you there. And Cory, you end it. What do you got to say?
We're out of here. See you, suckers.